Welcome to Truist Park in Atlanta, Georgia for what is one of my personal favorite events on the entire sporting calendar. Tonight, the American League battles the National League in the 95th edition of the Midsummer Classic. It is the 2025 MLB All-Star Game here on ULTRASPORT, and we will be bringing you uninterrupted, commercial-free coverage here this evening. Now, the stands are packed here in Atlanta as the best players from the two leagues are set to go head-to-head. We're moments away from the action, but before that, we turn to honor America with the playing of the national anthem. So it is Paul Skeens taking the mound here for the National League from the Pittsburgh Pirates. 23 starts in 2024 with 133 innings pitched, a 1.96 ERA with 170 strikeouts and a 33.1% strikeout rate. Jose Altuve leads off for the AL, 20 home runs and 65 RBIs last year with a .295 batting average. And with this first pitch, we're underway. Beautiful right middle of the strike zone. Contreras, the catcher for the NL, and the 2025 All-Star Game has begun here in Atlanta. The 0-1 to Altuve.
No, that's outside. Ball.
Just outside.
No,
And
ball.
high. Count is
2-1.
2-1 for the Astros second baseman. Connects here, and he will get under it for the catch. So there is the first out of the 2025 All-Star Game. As we get underway here in the top of the first, Gunnar Henderson, the shortstop, up next. 37 home runs last season for Henderson with a .281 average. First pitch now.
Yeehaw!
Is just inside, is just able to get in the strike zone. Is going a bit low, touching the frame there. Here's the 0-1. That is
1-1.
way outside. High. The 2-1 pitch to Henderson. Connects, doesn't go very far, but still is foul. And that's strike two. Skeens now hoping for the first strikeout of the All-Star Game. And yes, he got him. Was going way inside. He nonetheless swung. I don't know why, but here's a look at the replay. This one was almost touching his knee. You can see the catcher move his mitt over, and maybe he swung in self-defense, but whatever it is a strikeout. And Juan Soto is up now, the man who a couple years ago signed the richest contract in all of professional sports, larger than Ronaldo, Messi, LeBron James, anyone you can think of. All pro sports around the world, is this guy who has the richest contract, Juan Soto, number 22. But he now faces down an 0-2 count from Skeens. He will connect, however, and it is going to bounce at the warning track. It's off the wall. They got to rush now. He's at least going to get to second, and that is where he will stay. A double for Juan Soto, and I guess that's why he has that large contract. We see this once again. I thought it was going to be a home run, but just at the last second it comes down, touches the warning track, and I heard a little bit of a groan from the crowd as that hit. And there you go. Aaron Judge of the Yankees, defending American League champion, now at the plate. 2 out, 1 on. Judge with a .322 batting average last season. Holds the American League single season home run record as well. The 0-1 here, he will check his swing, but it does nothing because it's in the strike zone. In the bullpen for the National League, we have Hoffman and Strahm. The former is a right-handed pitcher, and the latter is left-handed. They may come in at some point. But right now, it's the 0-2 to Judge. He will reach for it, swings and misses, and we go to the bottom of the first. And again, uninterrupted coverage will go right to the action here from Atlanta. Corbin Burns on the mound here tonight for the American League. 32 starts in 2024 with a 15-9 record, an ERA of 2.92, and 181 strikeouts for a 23.1% strikeout rate. And it'll be Ketel Marte leading off, the second baseman for the NL. And here we go. So glad to have you with us tonight. There is a certain magnitude to the All-Star game. This is, as I said before, I think, one of my favorite nights in all of sports. This, I don't know, ranks up there with WrestleMania and the Boxing Day Test. And it is something that is a quintessential marker of the summer. I've been following the All-Star game since I was 8 or 9. And it's a night when the entirety of Major League Baseball comes together, and it's more of a celebration of the sport than anything else.
No, that's down. Ball.
Count is 2-2 for Marte. Here's the pitch from Burns, and that's going to go inside. Fernando Tatis Jr., the right fielder from the San Diego Padres, on deck as Marte faces down a 3-2 count. Here's the pitch. It's going to go low, and Corbin Burns starts the night off with a walk. You will certainly be hoping that that's not a bad omen for the rest of the night, as Tatis Jr. now steps up to the plate. First pitch, he connects, but it'll go into foul territory. 21 home runs and 49 RBIs last season for Fernando Tatis Jr., a .276 batting average. The 0-1. In the strike zone. You can hear some booing coming from the crowd.
That missed. That's a ball.
I guess the National League is the home team, and that's because the Braves are in the National League, so maybe there is some sort of association. You know, you don't really think of someone being a diehard supporter of either the American or National League. This is more of an exhibition, right? They don't have the home field advantage for the World Series anymore, so again, more of an exhibition. So what do you choose off of? Which league your team is part of? Whose logo is the coolest? Who knows? Fernando Tatis Jr., 3-2 count. That's going to go low again. And it's 2 walks in a row for Corbin Burns. And if you're the manager of the National League side, you may be questioning your choice of starter. Trey Turner now at the plate for the National League. And this first pitch in the strike zone. 21 home runs and 62 RBIs for Turner last season. A .295 batting average for this NL shortstop. And the 0-1 fouled away for strike two. But Burns has had guys on strike two before, and it's always ended in a walk, so we'll see if that pattern continues. Here's the 0-2. He connects. It's going to find the gap, and the bases are loaded. The bases aren't just loaded. They got to run. Enough time in there for him to slide into home, and the National League takes the lead. I was not expecting that. I apologize. But here is the replay, and this one was close. Catcher steps out, but you can clearly see his hand does cross the plate. There it is, before the glove gets there. Adley Rutschman, the catcher tonight for the AL. And the National League has just taken the lead. That goes inside as Bryce Harper is now at the plate. 30 home runs and 87 RBIs last season with a .285 batting average for this NL first baseman. Two guys still on base here. Here's the 1-0. Connects. And yes! 3-run home run, 411 feet. And Bryce Harper may very well have secured the title of MVP with that one hit. National League now way out into the lead. Fireworks exploding over Atlanta as we take a look at this once again. It is Bryce Harper. There we go. The crack of the bat. Exit velocity of 103.5 miles per hour, and that's going to be it for Corbin Burns. Anyone could see that. We only play 3 innings as per ULTRASPORT rules, so you got to make the most of your pitching decisions. NL 4, AL 0, thanks to Bryce Harper. Absolutely incredible. And coming in now is Andres Munoz. 60 games and a 3-7 record last season with 59.1 innings pitched. An ERA of 2.12 and a strikeout rate of 33.2%. For this man who has now taken the mound for the AL. He's got a mighty task.
Ball.
There aren't even any outs in this half inning so far. They got 2 on base. Harper homered, and just absolutely, with all due respect, abysmal pitching from Burns tonight. So there you have it.
Ball.
And in the bullpen, it's Craig Kimbrell with Holmes, both right-handed pitchers here for the AL. We'll see if either of them come in tonight. As Contreras faces down the 2-0! Well then! That one's out of here as well. 437 feet. It is a solo home run to make it 5-0 for the National League. What a night. This is why it's the All-Star game. Incredible. You know, how many times do you see a 5-0 scoreline in regular play? But it's the All-Stars. He stepped back before running the bases, watching almost conceitedly as the ball flies away. And I remind you, as Christian Yelich steps up, we still don't have a single out in the bottom of the first. Center fielder Yelich, 11 home runs, 42 RBIs last season with a .315 batting average. And the way this is going, he's going to send one over the wall as well. Here's the 0-1, connects, and that's into foul territory. Munoz hoping to save his neck, so to speak, after conceding a home run in the very first at-bat, but I don't think he's going to have a chance to pitch for much longer as well. I think that by the bottom of the second, we'll have another guy in there. We'll find out, however. Count is 1-2 for Yelich. as Munoz hopes and prays
2-2.
for the first out of this half inning. The first out taken by the AL.
Full count.
Checked his swing, it's bunt, and it's inside. Marcell Ozuna, the designated hitter, up next. As we wait the 3-2, connects here. It's going to be an easy pop-up, unless they somehow score from that as well. Catch is made, out number 1. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. gets the credit for that, and here comes the hometown hero, Marcell Ozuna of the Atlanta Braves, now at the plate in his home stadium. First pitch goes high, and
1 ball,
this is
no
certainly the guy they're hoping will hit a home run.
strikes.
As this is swung on and missed
1-1.
for strike 1. Connects, and that'll go foul. 1-2. One-two pitch. He swings, and there you go. Strike 3. Munoz gets the first strikeout for any American League pitcher in this game so far. And Alec Bohm up next for the National League. First pitch goes foul. Strike 1. Bohm with 15 home runs and 97 RBIs in 2024. A .280 batting average for this third baseman. And the 0-1 now goes high. Connects here. And it's going back. Can he make the catch? Yes. So we go to the top of the second with the National League up 5-0. And it's going to be interesting to see how the American League can come back from this one, if they can come back from this one. Stay tuned. And Yordan Alvarez up first for the American League, as they desperately hope to gain some ground in this game. It is 5-0 again for the NL as Paul Skeens steps up once again. First pitch goes a bit low, but manages to stay inside the strike zone. We are underway in the top of the second of 3 innings in the 2025 All-Star Game. Here's the next pitch. That goes high. 102 miles per hour there. And the 1-1. Strike zone. 1-2. Oh, there you go. The retaliation shot from the American League comes from Yordan Alvarez. 409 feet, 103.9 miles per hour, the exit velocity. And it is now clear that this stadium is full on with National League support, because things just got very quiet in here. Alvarez crosses the plate, and the American League have their first run. Let's take a look at this again. Boom. Listen to the crack of the bat there. Flips the bat, and away it goes, landing near the chop house. And I guess that's going to be it for Paul Skeens. National League to bring in a substitute pitcher. Bit too competitive, wouldn't you say? This is, they're up 5-1. Nonetheless, it is Tyler Glasnow in for the NL, as the American League finally get a run under their belt. They hit a grand slam, I'd be worried, but whatever. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. of the Toronto Blue Jays up now for the AL. 30 home runs and 103 RBIs in 2024 with a .323 batting average. The 0-1. Swung on and missed. Strike 2.
No ball, 2 strikes.
And quite an ovation there from all around the stadium, as this is going to toe the line. I think it's been called fair. So he throws towards second. Is it going to be close? No, he's not even going to go for it. But we got a runner on first now for the AL, and that'll bring up Cleveland's Jose Ramirez. 5-1. The entire season, if I remember correctly, we have not seen a scoreline like this. So it remains true. Only, ladies and gentlemen, in the All-Star game. Count is 0-1 for Ramirez. And that is in the strike zone. Jerry Hillsdale tonight has the honor of being the home plate umpire and officiating at this iconic tradition of the Midsummer Classic. 95th edition of the All-Star game. So, checks his swing, and it's called a strike. Adley Rutschman, the catcher, up next. So in a few years, we'll have the 100th All-Star game. It'll be interesting to see where they have that. This is going to be a double play. There's one. No! He can't get there in time. He can't get there in time. Rutschman goes to first as they still take the out. And Stephen Kwan, the left fielder, up now for the AL. Top of the second of 3. First pitch. Oh, went dangerously inside. Kwan is 1 for 6 against Glasnow all time. Here's the 1-0. Connects, and that'll go foul. Again, dangerously inside. Almost hit him. 2-1. Manages to hit it here. Now that is going to be... Oh, his helmet came off, but that's out number 3. Yordan Alvarez fires the retaliation shot from the American League. Will it be enough? We'll find out as the night goes on. Stay tuned. It's the All-Star Game on ULTRASPORT.
Now pitching for the American League, number 46,
Craig Kimbrell coming in now for the AL as Jurickson Profar will lead off for the NL in the bottom of the second here in the 2025 All-Star Game. Once again, we are so pleased to have you with us here for this iconic tradition of the Midsummer Classic. First pitch goes in the strike zone, and look at Kimbrell. I don't know, that looks uncomfortable, but whatever works for you.
Ball.
That's on the frame of the strike zone. It's
One
called
ball,
a ball
1 strike.
as it goes high. Profar at the bottom of the batting order for the NL. Steps up to the plate for his first at-bat here tonight. Possibly his only one. Count is 2-1. Bit low, but still manages to make it mostly inside the strike zone. Count is 2-2. Next pitch connects here, and the catch, I think, will be made. There's out number 1. So we go back to the top of the batting order with Ketel Marte. He was walked in the first inning. Has the honor of leading off for the National League here tonight. We'll see what he can do in this second at-bat. 1 out. That goes high. First pitch here from Kimbrell. Connects now, and that's going to go foul. Strike 1. bounce foul once again. So 1-2 count for Ketel Marte here in the bottom of the second. Next pitch from Kimbrel goes
2-2.
outside. 95-mile-per-hour fastball there from this new AL pitcher. 2-2 connects and fouls off. The 2-2. Again foul. You can hear a bit of a murmur rising in the crowd here as Kimbrel continues to look for the strikeout. There it is! 2 outs now in the bottom of the second as Ketel Marte walks off. Let's take a look at this once again. So 2 outs now as Fernando Tatis Jr. of the Padres steps up to the plate for the NL.
1-0.
First pitch is going to go high. Ball 1. Fernando Tatis Jr. was also walked in the first, and all these walks and stuff would set up for Bryce Harper's incredible 3-run home run. And add to that one more home run after him, and the NL leads 5-1. Nice catch there by the ball boy. But this isn't Savannah Bananas. This is, if you know, you know. That would be an out.
No, that missed. That's a ball.
2-1. Inside. Trea Turner on deck for the NL, the shortstop here, as it looks like Tatis Jr. might end up being walked again. Easy night for him if that's the case. That's in the strike zone, however. So it'll be a full count with 2 outs here in the bottom of the second as the AL hopes to keep the NL's lead at just 4. That's going to go high, and it is a walk. And Kimbrel visibly frustrated. Trea Turner had an RBI single in the first inning, and now could have the opportunity for a 2-run home run. First pitch, bit unorthodox. He connects. It's going back, and he will do it. 403 feet. It's 7-1. It is 7-1. 3 outs remain for the American League. I think this game's pretty well wrapped up. Incredible home run there from Trea Turner. 109.7 miles per hour, the exit velocity. Listen to the crack of the bat there. Flies into the stands as the sun sets here over Atlanta. And Bryce Harper back up. He had the 3-run homer, of course, earlier tonight. Maybe a bit of PTSD on the American League side. Absolutely incredible showing here from the National League this evening, and
outside. That's
now they only need to get 3 more outs if they want to take home the victory here tonight in the 2025 All-Star Showdown. Here's the 1-1. Connects, and that is going to go into right field. It will bounce. So the NL have a runner on first, and if you're part of the AL team, you got to be thinking through worst-case scenarios at a certain point. But William Contreras also hit a home run earlier tonight, directly after Harper's, actually. And the NL has now been through 3 pitchers. Munoz came in second, and now, as I predicted, Craig Kimbrel is on the mound as number 3, and potentially the last for the AL. This will be fouled away to make the count 1-1. And the next pitch, oh, he hit him.
Batter, take your base.
2 on. And that's going to be it for Craig Kimbrel as well. I think it's safe to say that tonight's been a bit of a disaster for the American League. Of course, as far as I know,
Now pitching for the American
beginning in
League,
2017, they got rid of the World Series home field advantage thing, but
Kenley.
there's still bragging rights, as Kenley Jansen, two-time reliever of the year, 2 years in a row, is now on the mound for the American League, the fourth pitcher they've been through here tonight. Yellow had a pop out earlier tonight, and it's 2 outs, so the American League can put an end to this quickly if they play their cards right. As we see the first pitch, interesting stance there from Jansen. 2 on, 2 outs. So glad that you have joined us this evening for this Midsummer Classic. As we see the 0-1, he will connect, and that is going to take us to the top of the third. It's 7-1, thanks to number 7 in favor of the National League. Can the American League fight back in the last inning of regulation? Tyler Glasnow remains on the mound for the NL as Jose Altuve, the leadoff in the batting order, leads off the top of the third. So away we go. 3 more outs for the National League
That's
to
a ball.
claim a victory that had been seen from a mile away, to be quite honest with you. Right when Harper got that home run, anyone who
Hee-haw.
had betted on the American League to win this probably started feeling a bit worried. The count now is 1-1. He will connect and foul that off for strike 2. And the 1-2 pitch. Swung on and missed. He's going to try to steal first. He has no chance. Out number 1.
Now batting, the shortstop.
Second strikeout tonight for Glasnow. As we see this again, he immediately takes off, but the catcher has it. And that's just desperation right there, right? You don't even care about how low the chances may be. That 1%, that chance that the first baseman misses the catch or something is enough to keep you going. Gunnar Henderson, the shortstop, now at the plate with 1 out in the top of the third as the NL continue marching toward victory here. That's going to go outside. 2-0.
Hike one.
Slider finds his way into the strike zone. 2-1. Fouled away, strike 2. 81 miles per hour the exit velocity on that one. As Glasnow looks for the strikeouts. He got it! And Henderson swung way too early on that one. Will we see a replay, perhaps? Doesn't look like it. But Juan Soto, who had a double earlier, an impressive one at that, is the final man. The man to whom it falls to save his team
1 ball, no strikes.
in the All-Star game. And he's against the odds here. Can he keep the AL alive in what has been a dramatically one-sided All-Star game? He'll swing and miss on this next pitch for strike 1. And here's the pitch. Connects, foul. 1 strike remaining in the All-Star game. We want to thank you for tuning in here tonight once again. And it's been an incredible night of action from Atlanta. The 1-2 to Soto as Glasnow looks for the strikeout. It's popped up. And the National League have won the 2025 All-Star Game. Final score, NL 7, AL 1, as we say goodbye and good night from Truist Park in Atlanta.